What's up, guys? Taking this new camera out for a vlogging test. It's golden hour right now. Not a lot of clouds in the sky, but we're still going to give it a go. Get some shots, and let me turn the radio down and see what we can get with this guy. So, got to test out how the autofocus works and just how the overall video quality looks out of this guy. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Out in Old Town Buckeye to get some shots, get some b-roll with this camera, and see how this autofocus holds up. So far, looking at the screen, seems to be holding up pretty well. So again, we're going to test it out, see what we got. So make sure you guys stay tuned, don't go anywhere. So got some shots. Let's go put them in the computer and see what they look like, and then I'll talk to you guys and tell you what I think of how it did. Like I said, I've had this camera for a bit, and the autofocus has been working pretty well for me. And I love the overall image that is coming out of this camera. So can't wait to go and take a look at these shots and see how they came out. Alright guys, welcome back. Future me now. I'm in the room. I've gone over the footage, and overall I was pleasantly surprised with the autofocus. Well, not really surprised, I have been testing it out before I made this video, but overall it did well for the 3-minute video I shot. I'm not sure exactly how long it was. There was only 2 spots where I saw that it kind of briefly messed up. It wasn't like this just completely lost focus and just took forever to get back. It messed up and it real quick grabbed focus again. So that was something that I noticed. So it wasn't perfect, but it did, for the most part, did really well throughout the whole video. As you guys probably saw, look through it yourself and see if there's any spots that I missed. But overall, it did well, because that whole thing was shot in autofocus. Right now, I'm shooting in autofocus when I'm sitting here talking to you guys. And my last video I made talking about the Canon G7X Mark II, that was all shot in autofocus as well. And when I went and reviewed that video, there was no autofocus issues. It never lost focus. It worked great. I'll link that up here somewhere. So a few caveats that I noticed with this camera when it comes to the autofocus system: when it does well, when it doesn't do so well. So I've noticed in some of my testing, well lit situations like this, I have my my situation lit up just fine, the lighting's controlled, or if it's a nice sunny day out, or at least in the middle of the day, or just a situation where lighting is good, it tends to work a lot better. When I notice when it starts struggling is when it's poor lighting condition. I mean, you can say that about any camera. Some cameras do better in low light with autofocus than others, but this particular system, from what I noticed, does not do well at all when lighting situations are poor. So that is something to take into account if you are considering buying this camera, or if you have this camera and you're trying to figure out good autofocus settings and situations for this camera. So that's something to think about. Overall, I think it's good autofocus. I don't think it's great. I definitely don't think it's better than Panasonic or Sony's, but it's definitely come a long way compared to past Lumix cameras that I've used. Now, I've had the GH5, GH4, the G7, a few of their point and shoots, and all their autofocuses were nowhere near as good as this one. The GH5 was the best out of the Micro Four Thirds that I used. I've heard the G9 is actually better. Never used that one before, but I heard that one has a little bit better autofocus system. But compared to any Micro Four Thirds or Panasonic camera that I've used in the past, this has definitely had the best autofocus system. I hope one day Panasonic does decide to go to a phase detect autofocus like Canon or like Sony or like basically any other camera manufacturer out there that has decent autofocus, because this depth from defocus system they have, it's too unreliable. But again, with this system, it actually works really well as long as you have your settings dialed in. And I feel like the settings that I have dialed in works for what I like to do. So now I've had this camera for a month and a half. I'm still gonna be putting it through its paces and seeing, you know, if there's anything better as far as settings wise, or just learning the camera a little bit more. And we're doing a short-term review here coming up, so I hope you guys check that out. But again, overall, I've been happy with the autofocus. That was something I was really concerned about when I got this camera, but overall, so far, so good. So I'm pretty happy about that. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this video up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys found it useful. If there's anything you guys want to see, like I always say, leave a comment, let me know. Hope you liked it, that subscribe button, and join me on this journey. And I'll see you guys at the next video. Have a good one.